Hello friends, I am Rahul Gupta from Startwithwhy, and again today we are going to discuss one of the very difficult question that is asked in an interview. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Seriously? So when this question was asked first time, I was thinking 5 years? Sometimes I cannot think what I am going to do next week. How can I predict what will happen in the 5 years? That may be the one extreme, and in the another extreme you can think of 5 years I will be at your position. Basically, I will be the CEO of the company, I will be the fantastic manager, I will be the chief engineer of the company in the technical side. But if you are telling these answers in the interview, obviously you are not going to get selected for the interview. Now the question comes, how do you answer this question in the interview? So this video will be talking about that how do you actually do the homework to answer this question in advance, and how to answer in the interview question. So we will discuss also what we call is the rocket strategy, 5-step rocket strategy to nail this question. So please stay tuned till the last to understand how do you answer, where do you see yourself in 5 years in the interview. Okay, so again let's start our journey. So again we will go in the same method. So the first one we will discuss what the interviewer panel is meaning when they ask this question. What they meant actually. Okay. The second one we will be discussing what are the common mistake everyone does, including me, while answering this question. And the third one is why the interviewer panel is actually asking this question at the first place. Because if you have that thought process in the mind, you can frame your answer very effectively. So you should know what is the root cause of this question. And the fourth one is the secret recipe that has worked for me most of the time. Okay, so now before wasting any time, let's move on to the first one. So what interviewer panel is actually looking for through this question. Okay, so let's understand that, because whenever they ask something and what is the connotation behind that, that might be different, and generally that happens also. So for an example, when they ask where do you see yourself in 5 years, what actually they are trying to ask is, have you set any realistic goals or the expectation in your career in the next 5 years? Do you have any sort of expectation? That is the first thing. Second, do you have any ambition, like what do you want to do in the next 5 years? Any thought of an ambition that you have, I want to do this, I want to do that. That is the second thing they would like to basically check, do you have that or not. The third thing is, if the job position that is actually you are applying for is aligning to your goals or the growth. Because if you are going in this direction and this job position in this direction, obviously you will leave this job. Okay, so this basically sets employer to understand what is your ambition and whether this job position is aligning with that or not, because then only you are going to stay in the organization for a longer time. So okay, so these are the clues by which the organization is looking the answer from you. Okay, so this is the meaning of that. Okay, now the next part comes, okay, when we discuss, so the next part, what are the common mistake while answering this question many people make. The first one is they become a too vague. Okay, vague meaning is like whatever you are telling, it is not making sense, or you don't have a clarity yourself what you are going to do. So basically the first question that we ask, that I cannot predict what is going to happen in the next week. Okay, how can I predict that? So if you are telling your answer in that line, obviously you are not going to get selected. Okay, the second common mistake, you are talking about some irrelevant goals. Okay, your organization is basically looking for, let's say, in xyz domain, and you are saying my goal is in the ABC direction. That means it's an irrelevant goal. Employer doesn't have any correlation with that, and that is the biggest mistake. You are wasting your time as well as the employer time. So please do not talk about the irrelevant goals for the next 5 years during the interview. You might have, but don't discuss that in the interview. Not doing the research. Okay, because see what the organization is looking for. Okay, we cannot know. Okay, like it will not sometimes be given in the resume also, in the job description. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to do a lot more research. Look on the company website, look on the annual report, look on sneak peek into the basically social media. You have the LinkedIn, you have company any kind of interview or some sort of a videos which are there. Start looking for what the company is heading towards, and do a little bit of research to understand what is the company direction and how you are getting aligned with that. That is a very fantastic way to nail this question. Rigid answer. Okay, I have seen the few people who actually make the entire path. Okay, that first year I will do this, second year I will do this, third year I will do this, fourth year I will do this, fifth year I will do this. That means they are very rigid in their answer. So sometimes employer feel very scared that if like employer is not able to fulfill those, this employee might leave. Okay, so you should not be too rigid also, and you should not, okay, so be little bit flexible, because sometimes the things doesn't go the way you have planned, it can change. But if you show that rigidness, that I do like this, whatever I think, okay, then obviously employer will think little bit before hiring. The next one is considering change. Okay, considering change in the career down the line. So don't tell that, okay, I am looking the career there and this is basically a good platform to learn. So basically you are using this employer as a stepping stone. So don't do that. Okay. Don't tell about any sort of an higher education, because obviously you will leave the company for that. Okay, so these are the basically two problematic areas you should never talk about whenever this question is asked. The last one is being unrealistic. Okay, so don't tell the very flashy word or very hyperbolic word, something like I would like to be the CEO of a company next 5 years. Okay, or I would like to be the MD of this company, or I would like to be the head of this engineering center, something like that. So please do not be very unrealistic. Okay, it shows your rudeness, it shows that you have not done any sort of an homework and you are just telling few words in front of the interviewer panel. Okay, so these are the very common mistakes everyone does, including me. I have also done many of them. So that's what I thought, like by this video I can tell you should not do these common mistakes, and you can crack your interview very nicely. Okay, now the next third problem or the third question basically comes, the why interviewer panel asked this question at a first place. Earlier we saw some little bit thought process, but if we more deep dive, the first one is they would like to hear your career goals. What are your thought process? Career goal meaning is what are your aspirations, where you are heading. Okay, so that is the first thing they would like to understand. They would like to understand your motivation also, whether your motivation towards your learning, your motivation towards money, your motivation towards position, your motivation, like what is your key things. Okay, by this question they are trying to understand, figure out how long you will stay. So that is the crucial part of every organization, because they spend a lot more money in hiring you. Okay, and they don't want to basically leave you in another 6 months or 1 year, because it's a waste of time and money for both of you. Okay, so they would like to figure out by this question whether you will stay long in this organization or you will not stay. That is the third point. And the last one is to know how this role is for which you are applying for is fitting your career plan. It is basically like a synchronization, whether you fit in this pipe or not, or that is also the another thing they are trying to look for. So these are the four things every employer is looking for whenever they ask this question, that where do you see yourself in the next 5 years. Okay, now the fantastic question of this video, that what is the secret recipe for which we are looking for. Okay, so now for this secret recipe, this is called a rocket strategy. Okay, 5-step rocket strategy. Okay, so this is basically your preparation you should do in order to answer this question. So what is 5 steps rocket strategy? So this is what you can see, like if you prepare for this five steps, obviously your answer will basically move like a rocket. Okay, and you will crack the interview. That is the basically thought process behind this. Now the first one is show your retention in the company for 5 years. So your answer should be worded in such a way that convey that you are here for more than 5 years. Okay, you are basically joining this company so that you can build a long-term career. So that will give the assurance to the employer, yeah, this will remain for a longer time. Okay, so they can consider you on the list. That is the first. The second one is show your ambition in the company, that what is the ambition that you have in the company, why you are joining this. Okay, what is the thought process? Maybe you are getting some sort of a carrot. What is that carrot? Okay, frame that carrot very precisely, so that they can understand, okay, this is the ambition that you have and that's why you are joining. Because without carrot, okay, you will not be able to sustain in the company for a longer time. Okay, we have to be very practical in this answering this question. The third one is show your passion towards that. Okay, what is your passion? Okay, that also you should tell, that what is the passion that you have towards this job, towards this company, towards this industry. Okay, and the fourth one is show your willingness to grow for the for the role or within the company. Show that you are joining this company so that you can grow, okay, in this company in a very nice manner, and this company basically provides the path where I can grow. That's how you should show the willingness. And the fifth one that we call is the substantiate each of these items using your research. Okay, so do not tell just a blindly something statement that you have read on the internet, basically saw some video, read few books, heard from your friends. Correct? No, you need to do your own research, okay, and frame your answer where all these 4 points are basically given in your answer and according with their substantiation. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what should be your sample answer so that you can get a little bit of feel that how you should prepare and how should you answer that. Okay, so 5 step again. This is a 5-step rocket strategy. First, show you want to retain in the company. Second, what is your ambition, what is your passion, and what is the willingness, okay, willingness to grow in the company. Okay, and finally the most important part, you should have the substantiation, okay, for each of these items. So this is the 5-step rocket strategy. Correct? Now let's move on to the what is the sample answer. How will you answer this question? Okay, so you can frame something like this. Okay, so you can say, hello sir, hello ma'am, currently if we talk about the let's say you are applying for the company which is working in the energy domain. Okay, so this I have taken my example for okay, because I work in the energy domain. So let's say you say currently energy industry is going through the paradigm shift, okay, from the conventional energy resources to the renewable. Okay, and based on my research I have found, okay, and this company XXX, whatever the company you have, is taking a very giant leap in this shift from the past 2-3 years. Okay, and you can tell one or two example that you have basically got from the research that, okay, this company has done this much of work, or some sort of a power plant they have basically rectified, or something with the renewable resources, or whatever the example is. Then you can tell that I foresee, okay, I foresee this role to be directly linked, okay, with the renewable enablers. Okay, because of this role, whatever I have read through, it is directly linked with the company shift, paradigm shift, and I will be the key contributor in the paradigm shift. That's what I foresee myself. Okay, so I can think that I can take my learning passion of renewable energy to the next level, okay, while learning under the great mentors. Okay, if you know the mentor's name, you can do a little research in the LinkedIn, ask your friends, okay, search the biography of that company, okay, and write down few mentors name, okay, that tell that, okay, I have actually researched that these are the great mentors, so if I work under them in your company, this is what I'm looking for. It's a fantastic way to basically convince your employer. Okay, and then you will say, okay, in 5 years I foresee myself to be the key contributor to the business, okay, in this segment, and become the go-to person for this new technology. Okay, so see here 5 steps we have covered. How? The first step you told that you have basically, you are showing your retention, which is shown in the last phrase. In 5 years I foresee myself. Correct? Second thing, you are showing that what is your ambition. Okay, what is your ambition? That you would like to basically be remain in the industry sector, and you have a very good passion for that, and you see there is a shift is happening and you will be the direct contributor. Okay, third thing you are going to tell that, okay, what is your passion. Okay, the passion is basically learning the new technology, learning the new shift which is happening. The fourth thing you are going to tell, okay, that this job is basically directly linked, okay, to the company goals, and I will be the key enabler. And fifth is you have already done your research that this is the perfect example, these are the great mentors, or anything that ever you would like to add. So this is a very fantastic example to impress your employer that what do you see yourself in the next 5 years. Okay, so now again, hope this video would have given you very good insight. Please share this video with your friends who are in need, or who are whose interview is coming up very soon, so they can basically learn this strategy we call 5 steps rocket strategy and nail the interview very nicely. Okay, and please create your sample answer, write in the comment box. If you need any help, okay, write in the comment box, I will be able to help. Okay, I will be able to help to phrase your simple answer based on your experience. Okay, so please share, and if you think like this video has given you a good insight, okay, like the video, share it with the many friends, and don't forget to subscribe the channel to get the more very inspirational video like this, so that you can crack your interview journey very nicely. Okay, thank you, see you in the next video.